Welcome to the Red Light District Junior Hockey Talk Show. Here they are, the original mayhem behind the mic crew, the BS Boyz.
Hello and welcome to the Red Light District Junior Hockey Talk Show. We are the BS Boyz, hanging out in the air chair tonight. And of course we have Bumper Jones in the control booth, doing absolutely nothing like usual.
Drinking that whiskey.
I guess that's why this show has such high value, entertainment value for the dollar. Tonight on the show, we have the head coach of the Southern Oregon Spartans, Mike Stanaway. Where are you calling from right now? You're back in Michigan, right?
Yeah, I'm back Marquette, Michigan, my hometown. I'm fortunate enough to get to spend the off-season here and kind of hang out around Lake Superior, so it's not a bad gig.
Well, that's going to be a nice summer back there, man.
Little fishing?
Yeah. A little bit, a little bit of everything when I get some time off from the road recruiting. But summers are always nice here, so certainly can't complain.
Spent quite a bit of time back there in the Midwest. It's kind of humid though. That's the one downside I don't like, because then my hairpiece melts and it looks like I have more hair on the other parts of my body than the top of my head.
You do.
Listen, we want to congratulate you on the Cascade Cup. You guys in Seattle all season long went 3-3 through the regular season. The Cascade Cup went 3-0, but all games decided by one goal. How exciting was that to get through that whole Cascade Cup undefeated and then going against a team that you battled all season long to such a stalemate?
Yeah, for my first year out there, you always hope for an ending like that, but it never really comes to fruition. But that is a team there that they're such a talented hockey club. If you didn't get the chance to see it, it was just back and forth. Dramatic game. The entire series. The series had a little bit of everything. 2 overtime games, every game, decided by one goal. In the finals, in the final third game, we were fortunate enough to come back from a 2-goal deficit to take the cup. And really hats off to the Seattle Totems. They're such a good hockey team. And, such good competitors. We certainly had a lot of respect for them. But, we wanted to win, and we were fortunate to be able to do that.
And you guys had an amazing attendance down there. And to win that in front of your home fans on your home rink, that had to be really massively exciting for the fans as well. Yeah,
it was. The fans, went... Their mentality and their passion for this team is unbelievable. It's nothing that I've ever seen. And with our team, when we started this season, I only believe we had, 3 or 4 returning players from the previous year. So we brought in a lot of guys from, the Midwest and really all over. And they weren't used to playing in front of crowds like that. And the first couple of times, you could see the nerves, but they really started to embrace the fans, and the fans certainly bring it every night. It is an atmosphere. It's almost like having an additional player out there. They are so loud, they're so passionate, so intense, and to be able to get that for them, was a great thing for our players to be able to do that for our fans. Because this program's had some rough years in the past. Back when they were I believe it was the Rogue Valley Wranglers, they, struggled, didn't have a lot of success, and, the fans stuck by the team, and, for us to be able to go out and get the fans a championship, I think, meant a lot for us, and doing it for them as it did is for our players.
Teams coming in. You had mentioned this, alluded to this a little bit, that some of your players were a little intimidated. The other teams coming in there and seeing that many people, sold out, 21 of the 29 home games sold out, that's got to be a little bit of intimidation for people coming in there to play your team. Were your players, or did you guys notice that at the start of games where these players were just looking around and trying to figure out, okay, where are all these people coming from?
We would figure that out throughout the season. You could tell, which players, were kind of timid by it, and which players on the opposition team just embraced it and loved it, and they loved getting heckled. And it made them play better. And either way made for a great show. For us, it was obviously just about going out and playing hockey and trying to do the best that we could on the ice. But certainly the fans, have a positive effect either way on the atmosphere. I mean, you get a lot of players excelling in that environment. You get some players might get a little nervous and maybe let the crowd get into their head a little bit. But it's a great atmosphere, though. I mean, if for anybody that hasn't seen it, the video doesn't do it justice. I remember my first game. We were playing the Eugene Generals, and I'd seen the videos 1,000 times on what the crowds are like. But boy, I tell you what, I mean, even I was nervous sitting back there the first game against Eugene on how loud it was. There's nothing to really prepare for it. I mean, it's a big time atmosphere, and there's times I can't even hear my assistant coach talking to me. It was so loud.
I can imagine, but you're right. It doesn't translate through fast hockey unless you go there, and we encourage everybody to support the Spartans as they join the Western States Hockey League. Listen, we're talking to Mike Stanaway, head coach of the Southern Oregon Spartans. If you want to contact Coach Stanaway, Stanaway at SOSpartans.com is a way to do it. Your main camp is August 17 through 19 at the rink. Is that correct?
That's correct. What we do is we fill the last couple spots we're looking for at that camp. Probably our bigger tryout is the camp that we have June 22nd through 24th in Madison, Wisconsin. Actually, it's Oregon, Wisconsin, but to eliminate the confusion, we just call it Madison because it's a suburb there. But our Wisconsin camp probably has our biggest draw. Probably see about anywhere from 65 to 70 players there.
You guys were really laden with a lot of Midwest talent. Was that something that, because you're from the Midwest, is that sort of where your mainstay coaching philosophy came from and the scouting recruiting trips?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really, still remains. I mean, there's a lot of talented hockey players really all over the country. I mean, but being from the Midwest, obviously, I know a lot of the players here and a lot of the programs, and it just seems to fit naturally for our Midwest guys to be able to experience what the Pacific Northwest has to offer. I mean, it's not only a great hockey experience and being able to get results for our players and movements up to the NCAA, but to be able to do that while living in the Northwest is it's a great opportunity for a young man.
So let's expand on the players here. Talty, 83 points. White had 75 points. Luskin, 62 points. You're going to be losing a couple of those players this year. What are you going to be looking for in your camps?
Well, we're looking for, I mean, we obviously want to have some balance, and a lot of our new recruits, are coming from the same places that Luskin, White, and Talty came from. In fact, some of the same leagues and even some of the same teams that put up similar numbers to that they did prior to coming to Oregon. So, those guys were huge assets for us, and right now we have some players that we think will be able to step in. But just like anything else, it takes some time to gel and get used to playing with each other and get used to playing our style of hockey. But I think as of the way it's looking right now, we're going to be able to hopefully not miss a beat next year.
What about goaltending, Mike? You had some pretty solid goaltending through the season. You had Derek Mosier going 17-1. I mean, a solid 90% save average. Zach Woodman came in a little later. Josh Petarudo carried you guys through the regular season as well. Mm-hmm. How's that looking as far as the upcoming season?
Well, goaltenders, is obviously, we're bringing some goaltenders into camp right now. Moser's got a couple college offers, but they're for 2013, so we might be retaining Moser and Woodman. Depending, we'll see how the North American League draft goes, and for both of those guys. But we may have both of them back. We may have none of them back. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, you hit it right on the head. I mean, those are two talented players that really bailed us out of some tough situations and put up the numbers that they needed to do to help our team succeed. But right now, we have the opportunity to maybe have both of them back, or none of them back, depending on various opportunities that they have in front of them right now, if they decided to pursue those or not.
Let's kind of talk about the shift here. Spartans won Cascade Cup. When did the discussion really start about switching over to the Western States Hockey League? Was that like after Nationals? Was it after the showcase? How exactly did that come about?
Well, I think that, myself not being on the ownership side, I mean, I think the showcase gave us a pretty good indication for, what, some of the platforms that the Western States Hockey League was able to provide for, our players, and really being able to compare that to Nationals. I mean, obviously we were at Nationals, we were at the Western States Showcase, and the difference in the scouting for me as a coach was really the difference for me in that at Nationals you saw some representation there for some schools, but it wasn't anywhere near what we had seen at the showcase in Las Vegas with the Western States Hockey League. There were over 65 NCAA schools between Division I and Division III that were there in person, and it was just a phenomenal event. And and the other thing I think that is appealing with the Western States Hockey League is, you're going from what was a 7-team league, now up to I believe they have 22 teams. So it's one of those who you never know who's going to win every night. I mean, instead of having one or two, three good teams, now you have 8 to 10 that are all battling. You never know who's going to win. So. I think that there's a lot that plays into it, but you know what? I tell you what, my first year last year in the NORPAC, I had a blast. I was impressed with the coaching on all the teams and the caliber of play, but it's definitely this level is about helping these guys get to college and get the exposure, and I think even the showcase alone gave us a tremendous platform.
Give us an idea of what you were most pleased with last year with the play from your team.
Obviously, the play on our team, that, as you've seen throughout the course of the years, we had an absolutely explosive offense. We could score in bunches. I think that was probably the best thing about our team. And it not only from our forwards. I mean, it came from our goaltenders communicating with our defensemen being able to jump up in the play. You take a look at the way we're able to score goals. Whether it be 5-on-5, shorthanded. We finished off the regular season with the number one ranked power play, and that's a big thing for us. But we definitely had an explosive offense, and the one thing that I was probably the most proud of is you could see it as you watched our team progress. Is the first quarter of the season, our team tended to get pushed around a little bit at times. It maybe got a little bit intimidated, and then all of a sudden the guys got used to the style of play, and not only battled through that, but brought it on their own. And now all of a sudden we had the offensive capability with the physical game to match.
Going into the season, what do you want to improve on?
Well, I think some of the areas we need to look to improve upon. I mean, we had we had some good depth at all positions, but we were offensively minded hockey team, and what we need to really do is look to be better on both sides of the puck, and really you look to be more prepared, and not just look to win games 7-5, but look to be able to win those 1-0 hockey games. Being able to play some stingy defense, and that comes from all our players and our coaches, and I think that's going to be an area of concentration that we're going to look on a little bit more, next year. Obviously with a core of returning players coming back. The players know what to expect. They know how to handle themselves on the ice, and that's probably going to be the biggest adjustment for us. Whereas last year we didn't have that. We had 25 new players with a new coach that it took us some time to adjust. Now I think we'll be able to get in and not have to go through the growing pains as much as we did last year, and really just hit the ground running, hopefully, and be able to concentrate on a lot of the little details rather than focusing just on coming together as a team.
We're talking to Mike Stanaway, head coach of the Southern Oregon Spartans. Again, if you want to contact Coach Stanaway, it's mstanaway at sospartans.com. You guys had a couple of really solid defensemen. First name comes to mind is Luke Nichols. Defenseman had 44 points, and you were talking about both sides of the puck. 44 points. Granted, now there's a little separation there between, say, Luskin, who had 62, and then Nichols leading the team as a defenseman with 44 points. Defensively, you were physical, like you say. It took a little time to get up there. Was that your mindset, and will that be your mindset going into this first season with Western States, is being physical, yet still having that finesse to put the puck in the net?
Absolutely. That's and that's exactly the way we coach it. I mean, we want guys that can play in tight areas, that can make a play when they don't have time and space, and guys like Nichols, O'Leary, DeSimone on the defensive side, Connor Quinn. All those guys, did a fantastic job of that. They can make a play, when they don't have space. They recognize when they can jump up into the offense, and yet still, play a physically tough game, because that's what college hockey's all about. It's hard, it's fast, it's physical, and that's the style we look to teach. And where we're at right now with a lot of those players. They're on to bigger and brighter things, moving on to the NCAA, and that's the way it's played, and that's what we're happy that these guys bought into it, and we're able to execute and be able to still make the skill plays and the smart, simple plays, along with being physically tough guys.
Mike, let's expand on the NCAA a little bit. You have quite a list of players that are moving on to college that you have up on your website. Why don't you go ahead and just talk about a few of them there?
Yeah, I mean, right now we have Connor Quinn, defenseman for our team. He's committed to Northland College in NCAA D3 school. They play in the MCHA conference. Northland College, located in Ashland, Wisconsin. He's got a commitment there for 2013, so he'll be returning for his final year of junior. Luke Nichols, he's off to Johnson and Wales, a Division III program in Providence, Rhode Island. Tim Talty right now, he's undecided, as he's got about 5 or 6 schools to choose from. We also have Joey White and Mike Luskin off to Worcester State, which is outside of Boston. Nick Pachici's heading to Becker College. Those are Mike Tallow is going to Franklin Pierce University in New Hampshire. So, those are just a few of the notables, but a lot of guys that had the opportunity to move up to the NCAA. I think overall, I believe we had 14 or 15 guys receive offers, and that's what it's all about. I mean, winning the Cascade Cup was a great highlight. Going to nationals, those things are nice, but really what it's all about is giving these guys the opportunity to get not only a great education, but to be able to play at a real high level as well.
And your organization obviously has excelled at moving these kids on because, again, if sports can get you to an education and then the education can carry you through life, it's really tough to look back on who made the most change. But obviously the Spartans have given them the fifth gear to show their talents, and because of their talents, now they get an opportunity to move on. Real quick, Mike, and then we're going to let you go. You in Seattle, you not personally, but the Spartans in Seattle, you guys can't seem to get away from each other. They're moving to the Western States. You're moving to the Western States. Do you have any idea what division you guys will be playing in, and do you think you'll be in the same division? Because you guys are a lot closer to California. Right.
You know what? Those I believe they're talking about potential divisions as we speak. But you know what? I'd love to be in a division with Seattle. They're fun to play against. I mean, Murph and Gord put winners on the ice every year, and it's nothing more exciting than being able to go up against the Totems, because you never know who's going to win. It's exciting to watch. It's they run a great organization, and personally, I'm hoping to have them in our division, and we'll see what happens. But as of right now, I don't know. But we're hoping to be able to continue that rivalry, because it's two good hockey clubs, going at it all the time, and we're certainly looking forward to the opportunities and some of the new teams that we might be facing, whether it be Boise or Fresno. I mean, all good hockey teams, and it's definitely going to be a challenge, and we're hoping to be able to continue that, not only for us, but the fans as well. The fans love seeing the Totems to come into town, and hopefully we can keep that going.
Last question. What are your goals going into your first season in the Western States Hockey League?
Well, I mean, our goals just like any other, just like they were last year. I mean, we want to compete night in and night out, and and go as far in the playoffs as we can. If that means making it to the finals, that would be a fantastic thing. But for us, it's about being able to just compete night in and night out, and have the consistency and the work ethic to win, and hopefully we'll be able to make that happen.
I think in the end, you made a great comment. I think your fans will enjoy seeing the Boise's and the Cheyennes and the Park Cities, not the same team, like 7 or 8 times in a season. Right. You guys are going to be rotating so much. And I think your fans will really enjoy this level of hockey, because Western States is a little bit different than you're going to see teams that are much, much faster than you saw in NORPAC, more physical than you saw in NORPAC. So the well-rounded aspect that you mentioned before, I think, will serve you well.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right, is there's some just tremendous hockey teams out there, and not taking anything away from the NORPAC, but instead of having it be a 2-horse race, boy, you're coming in, so much parity, you don't know who's going to win every night. And I think that's the exciting part about it, is there's so many good teams in the league that to be able to say, walk in and say, we're going to win a championship is a foolish thing to say, because there's some good teams, some great coaches, some great players, and it's going to be definitely a lot of great excitement and some fun hockey to watch.
Well, and I think the best form of education, especially in sports, is adversity.
Absolutely.
If you don't have to fight for every shift and battle for the puck every single time it dips in the corner, because you've manhandled the team 12 times before, and what their goalies' weaknesses are, and they play the same goalie. The advanced scouting's got to be huge this year, and it's going to be fun.
A big part of it. I mean, points are really going to matter, because from what I've seen, if you look at that league from top to bottom, there's not a lot of difference between a first place team and a fifth place team. Even still can win on any given night, and it's not only going to provide a better atmosphere, a brand of hockey for our fans, but it's going to make our players better, because you hit it right on the head. I mean, no matter how hard you try to coach against it, when you've beaten a team 9-10 times in a row, your players tend to get a little lackadaisical, and that's something you can't do in the Western States League, because there's a lot of competition, a lot of parity, and a completely different landscape going from a 7-team league to a 22-team league.
Well, this kind of puts us in a tough spot, because now we're going to not only have to watch everything going on in NORPAC, we're going to have to catch up on the battle of Seattle and Southern in a different league this year.
Well, not only that, but we might be heading up there to call some games in Seattle.
Yeah, like we're allowed to cross the border. You have to put on a mask every time we're going to Washington. Hey, Mike, we do appreciate the time you've taken to talk to us here in the Red Light District Talk Show. We wish you the best of luck as you enter the first year in the Western States Hockey League.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Even with the 3-hour time difference, it's just about midnight back there.
Yep, just past midnight, so no worries, boys. I certainly appreciate the time.
There he is, Mike Stanaway, the head coach of the Southern Oregon Spartans. Great interview,
yeah.
Great guy, a lot of information. Again, if you'd like to contact Coach Stanaway, you can do mstanaway at sospartans.com. If you want to get in contact with us, not really sure why you'd want to, but, it's always an option. 971-258-2840. 971-258-2840. That's the line of BS. You can send us a text. You can leave us a message. That's going to pretty much wrap it up for the BS Boys here in this episode of the Red Light District. The parking meter is running out, so it's time to wrap this puppy up. If you have any questions or suggestions or comments, call us or send us an email, bsboys@live.com, the boys with a Z, bsboys@live.com. There we go. That's going to wrap up this session of Insanity. We are out of here, everybody. Take care and safe home. Bye-bye.